Let's go live to Ottawa and listen in to Yves-Francois Blanchet.
Quebecois, enjoignant le gouvernement d'accorder la recommandation royale
at the royal
C-319
recommendation for C-319
une iniquité
that
à
would
l'encontre
protect
de
inequity
jusqu'à 4 millions de retraités au Canada,
for up to 4 million retired people in Canada, 1 million in Quebec.
Le gouvernement
The government
incapable de faire preuve de leadership d'une part
has shown no
dans la
leadership
façon dont il a géré
in
le
the way
de
the
ses
vote
élus,
was managed
et il s'est avéré
and
incapable de prendre une position
is
claire en
incapable
inventant
to
l'argument
make a clear
procédural,
stand
alors
with
que
a
si
vague
la motion
procedural
n'avait pas été
argument.
recevable, la présidence ne l'aurait pas reçue. Non seulement elle a été reçue, mais elle a été adoptée. Le gouvernement
The government
devrait donc
should then,
donner
therefore,
suite et accorder la recommandation
accord
royale à
the royal
C-319
assent
avant qu'un autre
to
vote
C-319 before
l'envoyons au
another
Sénat,
vote
qui pourrait nous la retourner
sends
dans
it
les
to
délais
the Senate and
pour que
could
la mise en
return it
œuvre
to
soit
us
garantie
so
avant
that
la
the
date
implementation
butoir
is
du 29
guaranteed
octobre.
by the deadline of October 29.
Vous attendez quoi maintenant? Donc là, c'était un
What
non.
do you
Comme
expect
vous dites, un
now?
peu pour des raisons de procédure. On veut
So
pas
it was
créer
a
un
no
précédent,
for
etc.
procedural
Est-ce que vous avez des
reasons,
garanties
no
que ça
precedent,
va être
etc. Do
présenté
you
dans
have
un
guarantees?
énoncé économique ou dans un projet de loi?
No.
D'abord, le présenter dans un énoncé économique, voyez bien les commentaires, mais
You see the comments.
grotesques du ministre
The
McKinnon hier
grotesque
par rapport au vote,
comments by the Labour Minister yesterday about a campaign between separatists and conservatives, and thinking back to the Chrétien era and the referendum, and the Bloc voted against bringing the retirement age back to 67. There was no specific vote to bring the retirement age back to 65. And there was no explicit vote for the GIS increase. That leads people into error. A minority government that's threatened and is on the very edge of the cliff and advances a foot, you say you have a problem. A clear answer is needed for potentially 4 million people who are waiting for this answer from the government. No. There were, not you, but there were commentators who provided interpretations that were not quite exact about what's happening in Parliament. The government did not allow the Ministers' Council to vote in favor of the recommendation for a royal assent, which would not have been constraining it, but we want to see the will of the Parliament, and the Parliament has said, we want you to recommend it for the royal assent, but royal recommendation, you don't have to. So, but because they're against, they say, it's procedural, we wanted free vote. Instead of being leadership, they are dancing around in a hope to save time or buy time, but the deadline is October 29. Now that they voted against it, what will you do now? You're still waiting for October 29 to formulate questions? I clearly stated, and I think you were there, the government had until October 29 to ensure the implementation of 2 bills. And any time in the interval when it becomes impossible, we will start discussions to upset the government. It's not at all impossible. The government has until the end of the month to get this royal agreement. They didn't say that they didn't want to do it. They said they weren't doing it due to procedural reasons, with free vote, with all of the Prime Minister's soft spine. What I said, when it becomes impossible, and we're not there yet. But here, I can say that this isn't a very good sign. because the electric is going to start paying attention and cameras are going to be used to look at other parties because this government does not want to get away from that cliff that they're hanging on the edge of.
Why is there so many English people here?
Mr. Blanchet, why are you still willing to work with the Liberal government when they voted down this motion? Is that not sending a signal of some sort?
Okay, let's understand things as they are. The government, I will learn that word one day, did not have the spine to provide us and Canadians and Quebecers with a clear answer. First, the Parliament voted clearly in favor of the motion. Then the government said that the ministers could not vote in favor of the motion, but that this vote would be free for other members of Parliament affiliated with the Liberals. And then they said that's because it's a procedure thing that prevented them from making a clear decision. So they just want to get some more time and to keep not deciding about anything. They might hope that they will go further than October 29th. They will not. So they have until a few days from now to go on with the royal recommendation. And if they do not, we will start as rapidly as next week to speak with other oppositions in order to get ready to go into an election. And I will tell you both in English and French that it is noticeable that the NDP voted in favor of this motion and that they could have eventually to assume the consequences of such a vote if we get to the next step without the government providing us and Canadians and Quebecers with what we want. Et ça, je vais vous le dire en français aussi.
I want to say it in French, too. And there must be some French-speaking people here behind these cameras. So, the new NDP, the NDP voted with the motion. I don't want to put words in their mouth and create a sensation. Eventually, if the government does not give us what we're asking for by the end of the month,
that was Bloc Quebecois leader
understand.
Yves-Francois Blanchet speaking to reporters following this afternoon's vote on the party's bill calling for an increase in old age security payouts for seniors 65 to 74. It passed, but without the support of the Liberals. However, it is non-binding. This was all tied to his ultimatum to the Liberals for support in propping up the minority government, saying again that support will only last until October 29th.